Hello, welcome to the Joyful House and welcome to Crafts of the Heart, project number 5 and 6, part 1. I've already filmed that, but I wanted to come in and add this little excerpt in real quick before I got it out to you to say I am so sorry that this did not air yesterday on Saturday as it was supposed to. And I also want to apologize to the Crafts of the Heart family who got all of their pictures in on time for this week. But I don't want to dwell a whole lot on it, but I just want to say that yesterday was not a great day and had a really, really rough time. And so I just really ended up needing the day to just rest and deal with health issues. But today is a much better day. And so I just want to come on and say I was sorry. But without further ado, here is this week's Craft of the Heart. Thank you. Hello, welcome to the Joyful House and welcome to Crafts of the Heart. If you are returning with me, I am excited because today we are going to be introducing project number 5 and project number 6. That's right. I have decided to work on 2 projects at a time. If this is your first time here, my name is Cynthia with Cynthia's Joyful Creations, and I am excited to invite you to be a part of Crafts of the Heart with me. Crafts of the Heart is an opportunity for us to work on projects that we've always wanted to work on or something that we've been just dying to do, but there's so many things already on our hook, or our hook is already so busy that we just don't feel like we can add one more project. But we can. And the reason we can is because this special project that just fills our heart with joy is something that we only work on from as little as 15 minutes a week to the most 2 hours a week. It's just a time for us to just kind of pull ourselves away from the world and our busy life and just mindfully be aware of our mental health and our love and, passion for whatever our craft is. It doesn't have to be just crochet like mine is, or knitting. It could be any kind of craft that gets you all excited and warm inside. It could be gardening, cooking, diamond painting, woodworking, whatever your craft desire is. That is what Crafts of the Heart is all about. It's just picking that one special project and just working on it for just a little bit each week, then putting it to the side until the next week. And when you do that, send me pictures of your progression and I'll share them at the end of each of my Crafts of the Heart video. So with that being said, I am excited to introduce you to project number 5 and project number 6. Project number 5 is going to be a continuation of really projects 2, 3, and 4. Project 2, I made and designed a joy sweater for my husband Todd, Mr. Joyful, in the adult size extra large. And then project number 3, I made the joy sweater and designed it in a newborn to small baby size, which was 0 to 3 months. And then project number 4, I made and designed the joy sweater in a child size 6. So now as we move into project number 5, I'm going to make the joy sweater one more time. And this time I'm going to try another adult size in a larger size, which will be a 3X. It is going to be intended for myself to match the sweater that I made in project number 2 for Mr. Todd, Mr. Joyful. And that way I will have made 2 of the adult sizes and 2 of the kiddo sizes. And after that, I will be putting the pattern in some testers' hands. And so if you are interested in possibly testing for me. I'm pretty set with the ones for the kiddos, but I would like to have 1 or 2 more people for the adult sizes. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. You can always email me. My email is in the description box as well as on my about page. But anyway, we are starting project number 5, and it is we're going to call it the plus size, the fluffy size joy sweater for adults. And so let me show you what I have started so far. I have the collar finished, and I've already started a little bit of the yoke. So this is what we have. Whoops, tucked up there. Now, I need to remember too to put this on the pattern. This sweater is not only the joy sweater, but it is made with a stitch that I came up with called the joy stitch. And because of that joy stitch, when you first move from the collar of the sweater and start beginning the yoke, as you can see, it is very frilly and wavy. And I'll put a picture of Mr. Joyful sweater up here in just a moment for you. So you can see that as you continue to work it, it does end up straightening out and pulling itself out. So I know right now it looks like it's definitely designed for a female instead of a male, but this is a universal sweater. It can be done for male or female. And just to show you, here is a picture. Actually, it's over here. Here's a picture of Mr. Joyful's sweater finished. And you can see how from the collar to the yoke going down to the body, it does pull out and straighten out. And now let me just show you another sweater that I did in that same size for his mom in more of a solid color versus changing up the colors and making them different. So here, yes, here. Here is her sweater. And again, you can see it's done the same way, that from that collar through the yoke, it does straighten out. So it doesn't have this waviness that you see right now. And as we continue to progress on this, you're going to see that pull out as well. But this is a good reminder for me to make sure on the pattern that I put, you know, don't be worried if it looks kind of frilly. It will straighten out as you continue. But anyway, so that is what I have. And the great thing about this sweater, even though in the pattern I am writing it for the different color changes, it can be made as a solid. You can change up the colorway whenever you want. You just need to follow the instructions. But as far as the color palette, I mean, do you be creative? That's the fun thing about you know, a pattern. A pattern is just a recipe for something. It's a guideline, but you can always change it up to make it your own. And same thing with a crochet pattern. All right, well, I am excited to continue working on this and can't wait to show you more next week. Now, that is project number 5. And I guess we'll just call it the plus size joy sweater. All right. Project number 6. This is something I have been wanting to do for a very, very long time. A good friend of mine here on the Yarny Streets, we bought this book together, and we had to wait like 2 months to get this book. I mean, so we literally ordered it before it even finished really coming off of the press. So we were very excited about it. And there was one main reason we wanted this book. And it happens to be what is on the cover of the book. And well, let me pull this out so it doesn't have that shine on it. Right there. We both fell in love with the gorilla. And so immediately, while we were waiting for the book to come, like I said, we had to wait 2 months for it. And this whole book it's called Zumagurumi, Endangered Animals. And there are all kinds of animals in here. Here is a look at some of them. You've got the the panda bear, the hummingbird, the fox, and the cockatiel, and then over here, the spider. Look at that spider. And then the polar bear, the penguin, and the whale. And there are other things in here. There's a stingray and a sloth. Let me see here real quick. That are not on the back. Yes. There's manta ray, excuse me. There's Monty the giant manta ray. And the sloth is adorable too, you guys. Oh, and there's a seal in here that wasn't on the back of the book. Let me show you the seal. It's Kia, the monk seal. So cute. And let's see. You saw the penguin, the gorilla. We're going to talk more about that one. So let's see. And the polar bear was there. Oh, and Nestor, the leaf nesting shrub frog. He's so cute. All right. And the panda bear was on there. And here is the sloth, Zuma the sloth. And that's so cute. And then I think that covers everything because the hummingbird was back there. Oh, and here's Gilly, the axolotl. I'm not sure. Okay. And now, and Ernest the pangolin. The pangolin. Look at him. Isn't he so cool? All right. Honestly, I never knew that there was such a thing as a pangolin or what it was or that it existed until honestly recently they had one on The Masked Singer if you watch The Masked Singer. But anyway, they're kind of in the family of the anteaters. But this is what I'm going to do, the mama gorilla. And so while I was waiting for the book to come in, I went ahead and bought the yarn for it. And I got the Loops and Threads fox fur polyester yarn. And this is a 56 yard, which is 10.5 ounces, 297 grams. And of course, it is a bulky number 6. And so I went ahead and got this so I would have it on hand and ready. Well, the book came, and because life is crazy and I didn't have something great like Crafts of the Heart at hand at the time, the yarn just sat in a box on the very bottom row of the yarn wall. And so as I finished up project number 4 and I got ready to get ready for project number 5 with Crafts of the Heart, I thought, while I'm doing the last of the Joy sweater, it would be fun to bring in something a little bit new. And so I decided that that's when I was going to do 2 projects at one time. Surely I can fit in 4 hours of free time to work on these projects. And with all the play dates I have every week, definitely would be able to get this done. So I decided to get started on it, and I did. Now, because it's a bulky yarn, it works up sort of kind of a little bit fast. However, I thought, with it being black yarn and being bulky, I was going to have a hard time finding the stitches. When I first started it, I did. But as I continued going round after round, I can't see them, but I can feel them easily with my fingers. And so I was able to work it pretty good. Well, I got 15 rounds done. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. What you're seeing is the back of the head here, and this is the side, and this is where the face is going to go once I get it finished. All right. Unfortunately, I have to do, I think it's 36 rounds for the head before I get to the face. Let me see here. So I'm on round 15. And yes, there are 36 rounds before we start creating that face panel. And I was going to see if they had a picture of just the face panel, but I don't think so. Oh, because it's kind of made up in pieces. So just to not show any of the pattern, since it is a book, and I don't have rights to it. So all of this is made in pieces. The nose is made separately. The mouth part is made separately. The eyes are made separately. The brow is made separately. And there's a pipe cleaner in there to help get it to bend before you attach it to the face. So all of that will be made in different pieces. But before I can add that, I got to finish the rest of the rounds. Now, obviously, with this being only 15 rounds at this point, no doubt this is going to be a huge, huge gorilla. A great friend for Miss Little Panda back there. And I was okay with that. But this is the thing. I've only done 15 rounds. It's my tail I haven't weaved in yet, thank goodness. This is one skein. So I only bought 4. And so I am not going to have enough. So I'm at a dilemma on what to do. Do I buy more of this bulky loops and thread fox fur, or when I went back and looked at the materials that they mentioned using a like black eyelash yarn, and I can see that. I can see a black eyelash yarn being used. And of course, the black eyelash yarn would be a little bit thinner than this fox fur. And as you can see, it's pretty thick, right? So, what you think? I really want to make a decision, so I'm hoping that as soon as you see this, you guys will start commenting, and I'll make my final decision somewhere on Monday or Tuesday, the first of the week, after you've had this over the weekend to look at. But let me know, do you think I should keep making it with the fox fur and make it a really big gorilla? Or should I consider, since I'm going to have to buy yarn for this project anyway, should I just scrap the fox fur and use the eyelash yarn? So I will be curious to see what you say. But I wanted to show you what I had and get your opinion by looking at what was already done before I consider frogging this. But I'm not going to frog it if I'm going to keep going with the fox fur. I will only frog it if I decide to switch to the eyelash. Now, the thing is if I don't continue with the fox fur, and don't let this be a determined factor in what you offer up as your opinion, but if I don't continue with the fox fur, I don't really use fox fur a whole lot, except because it's so soft and plushy. I mean, look at that. Look at that. But to feel it, you guys, oh, it is so soft. But the only thing I've ever used fox fur for, and I use it in a little bit smaller, it's not quite so bulky. What was this, a 6? I think the ones I use is a 5. Is this a 6? Yes, this is a 6. I've used a bulky fox fur 5 to put around baby blankets. But obviously, I'm not going to use black around a baby blanket. So if I end up switching to the eyelash yarn, then I have 3 of these that haven't been used. And then I will have this one, which I will frog and probably wind up into a cake if it will allow me. If not, I'll wind it into a ball. And I probably would try and find a home for it, give it away, because otherwise it will just sit here and not be used. But if you think I should continue with the fox fur, then I will just buy more and keep going. It would make a fun gorilla. But this is the other thing that does concern me. And again, don't let these things be a factor, because I'm all for the fun and the adventure of trying new things. It's heavy. It is really heavy. And I haven't even begun to put the full face on this or the body or polyfill in it or anything like that. And my concern would be is, would it be too heavy for a child to even lug around? Um, when I make this, I do plan on leaving it here in the Joyful House. So as the Joyful House starts filling up with grandbabies, this will be something that they will have to have fun and play with. And sleep with when they come over to Lolly and Pop's house. So anyway, so that is a concern of mine, is just the weight of it. Would it be too heavy for a child to pick up and lug around? So those are things to consider. But I will kind of start at the beginning of the week, looking around at all the various places, at the black fox fur yarn and the black eyelash yarn, and start really comparing it and trying to make a decision also based off of your suggestions, to determine how I'm going to go forward. But Wednesdays are pretty much my designated days to work on my Crafts of the Heart project. So I'll probably try and make a decision as quickly as I can so that I will be able to work on it. But if I don't make any progress on this one because I am changing up the yarn, then I definitely will have some progression done on project number 5 to show you. But we'll talk about this more next week and let you know what my final decision was. But again, I am very, very excited and encouraged to hear what you have to say. All right. Well, until next week, be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, make your own joyful creations, and find your joy. And I'll see you next week. Bye.